Well, hello, fellow citizens of Fairfield. This is Bob Ferguson, and today I have Melanie Carlson with us. As virtually all of us know, she's our marvelous city engineer. And I was having some conversation with her about CIRF, which is up for renewal on November 7th. And it occurred to me that many of us are not aware of the arcana of this kind of thing and what it really means and what it means to have it, and perhaps as importantly, what it means not to have those funds deployed. So I've asked Melanie to be with me today simply to describe it. Now, I can advocate for a yes vote. Melanie is just here to provide us information. And I will tell you that it certainly makes all the sense in the world to me that on November 7th, when you have an opportunity to vote, that you vote yes. So with that little disclaimer, Melanie, take it away. Tell us about CIRF.
Well, like you said, it's the Capital Improvements Reserve Fund, and it is a state levy that cities can put up for vote that is specific for capital projects. So that means that it can't be used for salaries or utilities or any other kinds of expenditure. So it's only for projects and purchases. And it's also very important for the city of Fairfield because it has flexibility that a lot of our other funds don't. Other than the fact that it has to be spent on capital improvements, it doesn't have a lot of strings and requirements attached to it. And I can talk about some of the great projects we've done with it later. But because it doesn't have those strings, we can use it to plan for projects. But also, if something comes up, an emergency or something that we didn't plan for, we can use the CIRF funds. And so Fairfield's actually, from my research, it was first voted on in 1988. I think there was maybe a couple years in there that we didn't have it. But the city of Fairfield has been using this fund for a long time. And it levies 67.5 cents per thousand of taxable value. And I think you and I were crunching some numbers that for about the average home in Fairfield, that's about a latte a month.
So why don't you describe to us the projects that are on tap that will be paid for by these funds? And as you pointed out, it also gives us flexibility if we have something come up that we need flexible money for. And then maybe just a little bit of history of the kinds of things that we enjoy today that were paid for.
Some of the things that we have purchased, I'll group them in departments. So all of the departments are impacted by this levy. Most of them have used it in one form or another over the years. Streets is the department that uses it the most. It makes up about 10 to 16% of the streets capital improvements budget. And I say a range because some years we do more streets than others. So it is important to our streets. And so different projects have been the 227th, which is the road out to the new industrial park down by the DOT building, Adams Avenue. But then again, because of its flexibility, we also use it for maintenance. The seal coat roads, you often find those in residential areas that have a lot lower volume streets. So we use the CIRF funds for maintenance on those roads and doing a lot of different street projects with it. As far as upcoming street projects, one of the things that is on my radar and has certainly been on a lot of Fairfield people's radar is our traffic lights. We all know that we took down the lights at 2nd and Burlington. I've had a lot of discussions with people about when lights are needed and how these lights are outliving their useful life. Well, there are some traffic lights that we need to keep in Fairfield, and one of them is the one at Main and Burlington. So that is one that we're going to have to go budgeting for in the next few years. And if CIRF passes or when CIRF passes, that will be something that I would use the CIRF money for or look forward to using the CIRF money for. Another great department that's had a lot of benefits over the last couple of years is the Parks Department. If people have an opportunity it's in the paper, it's on our town hall meeting, that on our Facebook post, the Partners for Play. There's a great story behind the Partners for Play at Obie Nelson Park. But with the CIRF funds, we were able to do what we can at this point to replace it. We all are wanting to put more in the future. And again, that's why CIRF is so important, to be able to provide parks with some of those funds. Some of the things that we have planned for parks, again, when CIRF pass, is the parking lot for OB Nelson and the roadway for Waterworks Park. So we have a lot of capital needs, and CIRF is a key part of that.
Well, that's great. Well, so I think that probably is pretty much the story. We've had a lot of benefit for us. And I think from my perspective, the total quality of the town, people's perception, our perception, and when visitors come, is the quality of our infrastructure. And of course, I'm a great fan of the new community garden at OB Nelson. And I did notice that parking lot needed a little bit of work, as I pulled in there. So I'm delighted to hear that's the case. And then so people are going to be able to park in style and enjoy all of the amenities of OB Nelson Park and enjoy the new community garden. So any other final thoughts, Melanie, before we close up?
I'm sure there's something, but a beautiful day like today, I can't.
Well, you want to go, you go out and play, right?
The sun just got me kind of taking a cat nap today, I guess. But I really appreciate you having me to talk about this. Again, it's really important for the city of Fairfield, relatively small levy speaking, and we really want people to vote informed. So I'm glad that you have me here.
Great. Melanie, thank you so very much. And folks, we'll talk to you later.